Alright my fellow agents, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and we all know that playing Retaliation, especially as a solo player, is one of the best ways to farm in the game because you do have the option of choosing your targeted loot. Not only that, you can do some farming, hopefully get some blueprints, and craft certain exotics for the first time. Now with that being said, one message I receive from players out there is that you're jumping into, let's say, heroic difficulty, you're having a hard time, you're looking for a build that is very easy to put together, something that gives you a good amount of weapon damage as well as survivability. So my friends, as we roll into next week, that is exactly what I'm going to be highlighting today. Now as always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button, it truly helps the channel out. If you want to stay up to speed on all things Division, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. So starting with the specialization, I'm using Gunner because this gives me access to the Banshee Pulse and it's one of my favorite skills to use in the game. This also gives you some extra armor on kill, a reload speed increase, some extra rate of fire, and regardless of what specialization you choose, and this is something I mention in every video, you need to make sure you have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree, that way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. So as you can see, my primary weapon for this build is St. Elmo's Engine. This is still one of my go-to weapons in the game. I want to mention this is at expertise level 30. This is one of the few items I've actually taken the time and resources to level it up because I use it all the damn time. However, to be clear, you could use whatever your favorite assault rifle is. It's totally up to you. My secondary for this build is the Rock and Roll Shotgun. This is a PvP exclusive. You can also get it from named caches. We're going to use that to build those stacks for Striker. As far as the sidearm is concerned, I'm using the Quick Step because with that, you're going to get that extra 20% movement speed bonus when the weapon is in your hand. Now making our way to the gear itself, starting with the mask is the first of 4 pieces of Striker. Running 4 so we get all of the gear set bonuses. 2 pieces 15% weapon handling, 3 pieces 15% rate of fire, 4 pieces Striker's Gamble where weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking up to 100 times. Next we have the body armor, which is the first of 2 pieces of unit alloys. Now we're running 2 so we get 2 brand set bonuses, which is that 5% rate of fire and 20% assault rifle damage. Now, as far as the talent on the chest is concerned, you have a few options. First of all, I recommend trying the talent Intimidate. With that talent, while you have bonus armor, you're going to gain 1 stack each second up to a max of 9, and each stack is going to increase weapon damage by 4% to enemies within 10 meters. Now, the reason that's an important detail is because that talent is going to be for players who want to get very close to NPC when you're actually playing the game. If you want something at further range, I recommend using the Equalizer because it has the talent Perfect Obliterate. Critical hits are going to increase weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 24 times. And for the record, in the gameplay footage you're about to see, that is the version I'm going to be using. Next we have the holster, the knee pads, and the gloves, 3 more pieces of the Striker gear set. You will notice I'm stacking crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can. Last but not least, we have the backpack, and as you can see, it's the second piece of unit alloys, and we're using the talent Bloodsucker, where killing an enemy adds a stack of 10% bonus armor for 10 seconds. The max stack is 10. So what's really great about this build is that every time you take out an NPC, and again as a solo player, you're taking out every NPC, you're stacking that bonus armor. If you happen to be using the talent Intimidate when you're close to NPC, you're getting that extra weapon damage, and if you're using Obliterate, and that way you don't have to worry about the range in which you are to enemies, you're also going to be getting that extra survivability, so it definitely helps out. Finally, I want to make sure I mention in the gameplay footage you're about to see, I do not have any global modifiers active whatsoever, and the reason for that is to ensure that whenever you see this build, you know exactly what it can do without any special events going on. Hope this helped you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage and a few final thoughts. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Hello once again, my fellow agents. I hope you're doing well on this fine day. And, you know, one of the main reasons I recommend using this build for new, returning, casual players, whatever it is, if you're struggling with your survivability, but you still want that weapon damage and you want something very user-friendly, this is definitely a build I recommend trying out. You're going to be able to get through those kill squads pretty quick. And you know, if you're trying to decide which version you want to use, I recommend starting off with the one with the Equalizer body armor. Reason for that, that's going to be, I'm using this term loosely, more user-friendly because you don't have to worry about the range in which you are, you know, from enemies. If you want to try out Intimidate on the chest, definitely recommend doing that as well, but that's going to be for more aggressive gameplay. Now, as most of you know, and this is something I say in every build video I post, this is just a template. The most important thing is to take your time, make a build your own. You know, when you look at this build breakdown, you can see him sitting at 1.3 million armor. To be honest with you, you really don't need that much, but I know a lot of players out there like having that extra feeling of survivability. If you want to try with 1.3 million armor, see how that feels, and you realize you're ripping through content, at that point, I strongly recommend speccing more into weapon damage and just putting out more of that. You know what I mean? So as you always hear me say, take your time, make a build your own, try out different variations, roll with the one you enjoy using the most. That is going to do it for my part in this video, my friends. Thank you once again for your incredible support. Take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and I'll see you in the next one.
Reinforcements en route. Incoming hostiles detected. Heavily armored hostile detected.
squad incoming.